For this problem, we are going to here we're going to leverage our existing program that we written before, and we have been printing out every single iteration of the loop. And that's been very handy because we can see exactly what's going on in that loop iteration. However, I'm going to delete this because I'm going to introduce a concept called debugging, which is going to be a tool that Flowgorithm gives us that we can use to basically get some insight into what's going on inside of this loop iteration so we don't have to print something out in the loop every single time to know what's going on. And for this, we want to print the sum. So we only need to print one thing, right? So we don't actually even want to print every single thing that's going on. So I'm going to start here by making a new variable called sum. And then we're going to assign sum the value of 0. We'll just do that for now. All right, so we have that. We're going to leave our break condition the same for right now. And then we're actually going to say sum equals sum plus the value of the counter. And then we are going to go ahead and do another assign box here. And we are going to do counter equals counter plus we'll do 3 to kind of keep going here with like it's every 3 numbers there. So and then at the very end here, instead of doing this, I'm just gonna say the sum is, and we'll put the sum variable right there. All right, now I'm just gonna run this and we'll say we'll go up to 20 just like we have right here, or I'll do 21. So run that, and the sum is 70. So essentially what that is doing here, well, I mean, honestly, right now, like, it's kind of complicated. We actually don't know exactly what it's doing. We could figure it out if we dove right in and we tried to walk through this, and it's like, all right, sum is 0, counter is less than n. There's so many variables here. Sum equals sum, which is still 0, plus counter, which is, I guess, what, 1. So, okay, terribly complicated. And I kind of made this complicated on purpose because it's hard to follow. Now, let's introduce a breakpoint and debugging. And this is going to be, I mean, this is going to be life changing for programmers once you guys learn how to do this. It's going to help you a lot in your future classes. So what we're going to do is here we're going to pick a line. I'll just go right up here and I'm going to insert a breakpoint. Looks like a little stop sign because that's basically what it is. It kind of just freezes your code. Now, I mean, like, what good is freezing the code, right? However, we also get this tool called the variable watch window. And this terminal here, as you can see right here, has all of our variables that this program declares listed. And it even says exactly what they are. So we have the counter, which is 1, sum, which is 0, and then n is undeclared because we're still waiting for me to input it. So if I input something like 21 again, now we have 21 in our variable watch window. So this is basically always going to keep track of our variables for us and tell us what they are. Now you can see here, we froze right here at the breakpoint. It's in green. Now what that is doing is it's basically stopping our program there until it hits it again. So I'm going to go ahead and click run one more time. And you can see all these variables just changed. So our counter is all the way to 4 now. So one loop iteration in, counter equals counter plus 3. So 1 plus 3 is 4. And we can see our variables changing for us in real time without having to print out anything. Look at how clean our console window is still, right? We don't have to have anything printed out. We can look at all of our variables right here. Our sum is 1. So now I'm going to run through this, and you can actually do a step or run. I'll just say what the difference here is really quick. Run, when I click this, I'll just click it right now and watch what happens down here. Nothing really happens, right? It goes all the way back so quickly to the next breakpoint. You can see our numbers changed here. So clearly it did one loop iteration, but we didn't get to step through each of these. However, with step through, I can see it hit every single block of code. So right now sum equals sum plus counter. So we're going to watch here right now after I run this block, sum is going to change. There, click that, and we can see that sum, which was 5, equals 5 plus 7. So now it's 12. And then we're going to update our counter. Right now our counter is 7. So 7 equals 7, or counter equals 7 plus 3. So this should update to 10 here after I do this. And we can see that updating for us right there. And now we're right here. We can see the condition is our counter, which is 10, less than n, which is 21. It is, so it's going to continue. And this is how we can, every loop iteration, see exactly what's going on. And eventually here, at the very end, get to that number 70, the sum. How in the world did we get there? Well, you can kind of see now that's exactly how the program was able to get through that. So really the purpose of this sum of sequences program, this example here at the end, the whole purpose is, you already know how loops work if you've been paying attention to the previous part of this video, but this variable counter is just invaluable. Here, bringing up the rest of the program here. It's just invaluable for you guys to be able to see what's going on in your loop, or really anywhere in the program. It doesn't have to be in a loop. It can be, you can put these breakpoints. I can put one right here if I want. You can put them anywhere. And all you have to do is you put them there, and then in your terminal window here, when you run it, um, if it's small, you might have to click this arrow, but you can also just expand your window here, and it's called the variable watch window, and that'll bring it right up for you there to use. So I highly recommend you guys maybe even try this out and do something besides like the 21 number that I went with, or instead of putting 3 here for the counter addition, put a different number there. Kind of learn how you can use this variable watch and how that is going to be helpful for you, because it will be helpful if you can utilize that correctly. So that kind of concludes what we have here for the module 5 Flowgorithm topics. We will cover in the next module our for loop. So it's gonna be a continuation on loops in the next module. But until then, good luck on the quizzes and the homework, and I will see you in the next module.